Hello, my name is Michael Duncan. I'm a teacher at Urantia University. I'm so glad you could join me as we journey through the local universe to paint an overall picture of life and evolution in our local universe of Nebadon. This lecture is designed to give you an overview of Part 2 of the Urantia book, The Local Universe. It is a continuation of our study of the four main parts of the Urantia book. The main question we will answer in this lecture is, what role does evolution play in the local universe ascension scheme? To begin, I will give some basic facts about the origin and structure of our local universe of Nebadon as the background for creature evolution in the local universe and microcosm of evolution in the grand universe. Since the use of mind is so important in local universe evolution, I will touch on the basics of mind endowment and then describe how the mind we use propels us through our mansion world experience and our Urantia careers. Finally, I will outline God's eternal purpose for us in the here and now, and how we can use the tool of mind to propel us spiritward toward God union and union with our brothers and sisters here on Urantia. We currently live, breathe, and have our being on this planet called Urantia. Our planet is part of the local system of Satania, which in turn is part of the local universe of Nebadon. A local universe is a yet-to-be perfected reflection of the perfect pattern of paradise wherein sits the universal Father, our God in heaven. A local universe is the created structure in which evolution takes place, with each individual planet serving as a preliminary spawning ground. Each local universe is the product of the work of many celestial beings. The two beings who begin local universe creation and organization directly are the Creator Son and the Creative Daughter. This creative pair establish headquarters worlds, stabilize suns, move planets into orbit, create life on the barren planets, and initiate the evolutionary scheme in their local universe creations. Here is a quote from the Urantia book. The Creator Son, when on Urantia, spoke of the many mansions in the Father's universe. That's from paper 47 in the Urantia book. The Urantia book tells how Michael, our Creator Son, bestowed himself on our planet in the form of Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus teaches us about a life even more grand than our life here on Urantia. This life begins with our progression through the 7 mansion worlds, which were established as a training ground for mortals who, through the use of will and mind, have chosen to resume soul growth on the paradise path of perfection. On the first mansion world, mortal survivors are resurrected and resume their lives where they left off on the spheres of mortal existence. A new body is given on the first mansion world, but only the experiences that were of an eternal, godlike quality are retained. The mansion world students are given a new body as each successive mansion world is attained. These bodies allow for ever-increasing mental utilization and soul growth and spiritual progression. The 7 mansion worlds serve to dematerialize and demortalize the faith sons of the inhabited planets. It is here in the mansion worlds that we fuse with our thought adjusters and pass from the mortal state to the immortal state. As we successfully complete our mansion world careers, we become local system citizens and we begin our career as ascending Urantia beings. Regarding this new Urantia life, the Urantia book says, The Urantia life, extending as it does over the various stages of the local universe career, is the only possible approach whereby material mortals could attain the threshold of the spirit world. That's from the Urantia book, paper 48. As Urantia beings, we function in the highest stage of universe evolution, while at the same time in the intermediate stage of grand universe evolution. As we complete our Urantia careers, we become ascenders of full-fledged spirit status in the super-universe arena of evolution. During our Urantia existence, we come to embrace a higher type of human philosophy called Urantia Moda. The Urantia book has included 28 sayings of Urantia Moda. Here are 3 of my favorite Urantia Moda sayings. By the way, I encourage you to read and study all 28 Urantia Moda sayings. They are all thought-provoking and inspiring. Number 3. A display of specialized skill does not signify possession of spiritual capacity. Cleverness is not a substitute for true character. Number 22. Only a poet can discern poetry in the commonplace prose of routine existence. And number 27. Greatness lies not so much in possessing strength as in making a wise and divine use of such strength. As we embrace the concepts taught in Urantia Moda, here on Urantia, on the Mansion Worlds, and in our Urantia careers, we gain an advanced cosmic insight and we begin to traverse that joyful path that leads us to oneness in God. We also delight in the unselfish desire to lovingly serve in God's great kingdom. We come to know that love is the desire to do good to others. We also come to realize more fully that God is unity. This is the first sentence from the final paper in Part 2 of the Urantia book. The local universe of Nebadon is part of the universe of universes, established by our Universal Father as a perfectly synchronized mechanism for evolution where the finite blends with and eventually becomes the infinite. This evolutionary scheme is created and controlled by God's infinite mind and is administered by His perfect descenders and perfecting ascenders in divine coordination. With divine assistance and our sincere individual effort, we are in the process of ascending closer and closer toward paradise and subsequent God union. We should strive to work together with our human and celestial brothers and sisters to lovingly embrace and faithfully live out our Universal Father's mandate, "Be you perfect, even as I am perfect." When we realize that everything and everyone is one, and thus entirely integrated in this vast evolutionary mechanism, it is then that we begin to understand God's eternal purpose for us and everyone else. We come to realize that God wants us to become one with Him and His creatures whom He loves. He wants to enfold us all completely into His loving eternal embrace, and He wants us to be happy and successful workers in His glorious kingdom. To do this, we must perfect ourselves first. We must use our minds, our wills, and our determination to make the choices and decisions necessary to propel us away from selfishness and towards selfless love and service in God's kingdom. At the same time, we must be instrumental in helping our brothers and sisters continue their own soul growth and spiritual progression. I would like to conclude this overview of Part 2 of the Urantia book by saying thank you for joining me on this journey through life and evolution in the local universe. And as you go forth, I pray that you may welcome the assistance of all of your universe helpers, and may you in turn lovingly serve your fellows on earth and beyond. I would like to offer one final quote from the Urantia book. The goal of eternity is ahead. The adventure of divinity attainment lies before you. The race for perfection is on. Whosoever will may enter, and certain victory will crown the efforts of every human being who will run the race of faith and trust, depending every step of the way on the leading of the indwelling adjuster and on the guidance of that good spirit of the universe Sun, which so freely has been poured out upon all flesh. Thank you.